The meeting of the Plaquemines Parish Council as the sole governing authority of the Plaquemines Port Harbor Internal District is called to order at 4:26 p.m. Machines are open for roll call. Yep.
I'm here.
Oh.
You don't have.
Well,
Yeah.
we can do it for this. We're not voting on anything.
Choose roll call.
I got it. Where's everybody at?
Go ahead. Just close it. I'll call it out.
He's not here?
Yes.
So we have 8 commissioners present. The remaining 3 are walking in now. Commissioner Kognovich is absent. First item. Oh, mics are live. Please wait till you're called on. If you queue in, I'll handle it, but for YouTube purposes, mics are live.
2, executive session, there is none. 3, status report by the executive port director.
Mr. Tilson.
Good evening, Commissioners. To start off with, as the presentation comes up, the Port's executive staff had the opportunity on Tuesday to meet with the ferry staff on the Pride, MV Pride, and we actually taped a short video for our AAPA conference that's coming up in 2 weeks. And what you will see is a photo of office staff and ferry staff whenever the presentation comes up. But we just wanted to recognize, the ferry staff. I think the guys out there on the ferries, I mean, they endure all types of weather, all types of conditions. We've had one issue this week where we had ferry crews up all night working on an O-ring to ensure that the ferries continue to run. So we just at least wanted to recognize the staff. And it was really a great opportunity for our office staff to be able to go out and spend a little time with the guys that do an amazing job for the public. So highlights, the port achievements for 24-25 was sent in a letter earlier this week. We definitely achieved a lot over the last 12 months, and we're looking forward to continuing that over the next 12 months. But you do have the list of those achievements. I just wanted to mention that our chief legal officer, the in-house counsel application is in progress. It has been submitted. Just want to highlight that he's got extensive specialized experience, particularly with marine terminal leases, ocean carrier contracts, and national legal maritime experience. He's already contributed to helping us to develop some things. Foreign Trade Zone continues to progress. Our letter of approval from the Foreign Trade Zone Board is in the hands of Customs and Border Patrol. There seems to be a disconnect between Customs and the Foreign Trade Zone Board, and we are working through that with the customer, Harvest Midstream, and they also have a FTZ consultant that is engaged with us. In terms of introductions for today, the Port is introducing an amendment to the procurement policy. And essentially, I mean, the main focus for the update is we had some FTA grant requirements that we had to make some changes to our procurement policy, and we took that opportunity to clean that policy up. So the commission has a copy of that policy, and we appreciate your support. Navy business case analysis continues to move. We're still locked in on November the 18th for a meeting. So our next step is to meet with LED and with DOTD to bring them up to speed on what our recommendations to the Navy are going to look like. The Mississippi River, Louisiana-Mississippi River Deep Water Marketing Plan, we executed the approved CEA. If the commission remembers, the commission approved for me to sign a CEA, so that is approved. We've already had one internal meeting, and we are moving that project forward. I think one other thing that I'm really excited about, we had a first face-to-face meeting in Charlotte on our container terminal negotiations, and we covered a lot of information, still a lot of information, to cover. There's still some obstacles in our way. But if anybody's interested in meeting with me to talk about the details, I'm open to do so. Next slide. So the Plaquemines Pride, she is in service. As I mentioned, we did have, a couple of issues this week with the Pride, but I can assure you that the ferry staff, they're diligently working to keep that vessel in service. The MV Point Lahash continues to operate as required in down the road in Point Lahash. The Belle Chase 2 is in the Thomas C. Shipyard, and we have provided notice to proceed, and they are starting to take engine parts out of the vessel. The Port Authority 2, the work has been completed. The vessel is running properly. We're waiting on a air conditioning circuit board, and the piece was on back order. As soon as they get that piece in, we will bring the Authority 2 back, and the Authority 1, we have one quote on it right now to fix the damage done from the passing vessel. We're seeking 2 others. We're actually putting advertisement in the paper next week to try to pull in some other quotes, but we are going to have to make that repair as soon as possible. And then the Newbill Ferry, all of the commissioners should have received the drawings earlier this week on what that Newbill Ferry, what it's going to look like, what the deck design is going to look like. We're working very closely with Minnow Marine, a naval architect, to ensure that what we're looking for into a fair out of our ferry is what we actually get from the design. The ferry manager is very happy with the recommendations that we've been able to push forward so far. So the Point Lahash ferry landing replacement continues to move forward. The Scarsdale and Belle Chase landings for the ferry landings, I think you guys are probably starting to see the improvements there, where we're steam cleaning, we're painting, we're making sure that we're performing maintenance, on the landings. And then the Belle Chase security vessel landing, that's a landing that's for the security boats. It's actually where the Louisiana sits today. And so that design, continues to take place. So we are going to have an improved landing barge there. And that's also going to facilitate safety operations of docking our security vessels so that we don't run into some of the damage issues that we ran into from before. And then the consolidated security dock down in Port Sulphur, the design is ready. We are just having discussions with Venture Global about what our next steps are going to look like. Next slide. So the 11-mile rail extension, continues to move forward. We are past the 30% design. We are continuing to make progress with the Surface Transportation Board, and the permit application is scheduled for submission at the end of October. Peters Road Rail Bypass, again, 30% design. We're continuing to have discussions with CSRS and HDR in Gretna, and we are continuing to make progress there. The Peters Road Bridge, I think we all know that we did receive the notice to proceed. That project is actually moving, and I've already talked about the Navy business case analysis. Admin building, our roof replacement project is just about complete. We have received a substantial completion award. We have to do some electrical work on the roof. That'll be separate from the roofing work, which should take a couple of weeks or so to get that done before we can go into final completion. The HVAC detailed design is completed, but we're not going to perform that work at this time. We're going to wait until next year. And then the building design is still underway, and that's for the interior and the exterior. And the estimated construction timeline on starting that is August of 2026. Financial update will come from our Chief Financial Officer.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. As you can see, the financial update as of September 25th, 2025. This shows all of the budgeted revenue and expense differences that resulted from last council meeting and those approved ordinances. You can see that with both revenue and expense differences, the actual only difference in the net position was approximately $249,000. Do you have any questions?
Ms. Glapion, can you also just give a quick update on what the commissioners can see in the back of the detailed narrative report?
If you turn to the final page of the report book, you'll see that we have enclosed a budget to actual report, and this is as of September 12th with our actual expenses. On this form, you'll note that our budget is the annualized budget, so that is for the 12 months. So in the column next to that, you can see where I have that current year budget at 8 months to give you a kind of a look to see where we are tracking towards the year, except for in our tariff revenues. There, I only did a weighted average at about 6 months because we run about 2 months behind with our billing on all of our tariffs. So then you have the variances to the year, and I did put some simple explanations there for those groupings with the variances. If any commissioners would like further information on that, please let me know, and I can do that. And going forward with the next meeting, I will be adding a schedule that's going to show you where we are tracking with all of the pieces for the revenue bond, what we spent and allocated towards that, and where we are tracking with that in total.
Thank you, Ms. Glapion.
Human Resources Update. Good afternoon, Commissioners, audience members. In Human Resources at the Port, we have some vacant positions that are moving toward being occupied. The first is the Special Assistant, and Ms. Dana Casbon will be starting on Monday, September 29th as Mr. Tillotson's Special Assistant. The Senior Accountant 2 role is under review pending receipt of applications. We just recently actually received those applications yesterday afternoon, so Ms. Glapion is reviewing those along with myself and our HR manager. The Director of Communications position, we are in final candidate selection. We have had a robust field of candidates come in to interview on multiple occasions and do a special project that I assigned, so we hope to have an announcement as to who will be filling that role very shortly. Our interactions with civil service. We had 2 unclassified positions submitted to civil service for review and tentative approval in their September 17th, 2025 meeting last week. The IT manager was withdrawn from consideration and vote by civil service, but with our right to reserve resubmission of that or a similar role. Our Chief Operating Officer was deferred because it is awaiting the Civil Service Archer study. In our communications update, the Marketing and Communications Office is advancing our SEO initiatives and continuing to boost the Port's online visibility. We are working with the Palmer Agency to launch the second phase of our rebrand campaign. Our direct mail postcard that was designed to go out to the local community is at the printers and is set to be out to our citizens and residents by mid-October. Our State of the Port Luncheon is scheduled for October 15th, 2025 at Cafe Hope. Final interviews, as I mentioned in HR, have been conducted for our Director of Communications position, and I hope to make an offer next week, the week of September 29th, 2025. Measures have been implemented to maintain continuity of communication functions while we have this vacancy. And then members of the team taped a video welcoming participants to the AAPA convention, which some of us, including some of our commissioners, will be in attendance the week of October 5th in Quebec City. Any questions about HR or communications?
That concludes the executive director report.
Thank you. Any comments from the audience? You sure? All right. Mr. Jurisic.
Yes, a couple of items to discuss. The special assistant, what exactly is she gonna provide? What services?
So that'll be an assistant to me, and it will be a little more robust than an executive assistant. So it's assisting me with the day-to-day operations and executive management of the port. So that role is actually replacing the role that Ms. Harlan Sherman was in over a year ago. Since she's rolled to HR, because of challenges with civil service, that position has been left vacant. And probably the biggest reason why is we changed it from classified to unclassified.
Okay, I mean, I'm just, you're hiring. I mean, I just gotta question that, I mean, you're surrounded by some good people. I don't know if they can't do a little extra, but I'm not gonna
Right.
go into that,
I mean, I hear you, and I think when we look at the staff and what we're dealing with on a daily basis, we are extremely lean, and everybody is really crossing over and helping each other. And for me to operate for 12 months without an assistant, that would be equivalent to, maybe the commissioners not having an assistant, with you. I mean, it's been a major challenge. Now, what I will say is multiple people on the staff, including Ms. Sherman, including Ms. Bartholomew, I mean, they have stepped in and they've assisted, but when it comes to answering the phones, keeping up with the emails, keeping up with the taskings, I mean, it is a challenge for me as a executive director, CEO, not to have a dedicated assistant.
Okay, the other thing, the LSU ag property, are we getting close to getting close to closing that deal?
Yes, we had our last conversation today. Ms. Glapion spoke with our auditor. The question was whether or not, we needed a purchase sale agreement or we can just transfer the property. Our auditor can't give us legal advice, but she did say if she was auditing us for that, she would be looking for a purchase sale agreement. So I sent an email to Rennie and to Dwyer Cambray requesting that we just move forward quickly with a purchase sale agreement and get the deal done.
Okay, sounds good. The third thing, I don't know if it was last week or whatever, but it might have been last week. I know a couple members from PPG attended what they call the Propeller Club. Did y'all see anything on the radar about that?
The Propeller Club.
It was on a Wednesday night, the night before y'all left to go to Carolina. There was an event, and it honors the Mariner of the Year.
Oh, that's correct. Yeah, I did hear about that. That's correct.
And I was just wondering why we didn't have any representation from our port, because St. Bernard was there, Port of New Orleans, and I think might have been Port of South Louisiana. They were there.
Yeah,
You know,
that's
the governor got the Mariner of the Year award.
right.
And I didn't know if that was something by invitation or something like Bobby does, puts the notice out.
No, the
and y'all
notice.
attend.
Yeah, the notice was out. And I'd have to go back and look at the calendar, but I think we were conflicted and we just couldn't get there. So it was not intentional that we did not go, or it was not an oversight.
I was just wondering because I know you got people in your staff that could also go to represent. And, you know, with the government side of things with it, I think we should have had someone from the port there. So be on the lookout for that. I would designate somebody to go to things like that in the future if we're gonna continue to work with these other 5 deep water ports to try to come up with something. I think we need to be present at a lot of that kind of stuff. So
Thank
that's
you.
all I yield.
Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. McCarty.
I want to thank you for allowing Ms. Clapion to, the CFO, to send over some additional financial information. She and I had a conversation before the meeting started, and I hope that you can correct me if I'm wrong. I tried to summarize it real quick. Okay, so it looks like we have passed ordinances, and we haven't posted the funds. Oh, no, we passed ordinances, and we do have funds, but we have not posted all the funds, so we're not up to date with the posting.
Yes, and in some of those cases where we may have passed the ordinance, we are maybe in the process right now of paying those bills, so they may not have come through, on this statement, and some of that is still, we are still working on some of those reconciliations in my office. That is correct.
And when I look at this, I see that in purchasing the land, it looks like we have losses, but that's going to be shifted to capital assets. Okay. It hasn't necessarily solved the unrestricted cash issue, where the variance report says that we have 6.3 million fund balance, and the ordinance report of 20.9 million. So it looks like we don't have unrestricted funds to cover today's obligations. However, in speaking with you, you said that this may show a healthy capital position, even though the report shows a negative cash position because we haven't posted. So we're about 2 months behind, you think?
With some items, we're 2 months behind. With some, it could be, with the expenses that those receipts may not have come into our office yet, where we've passed an ordinance. So, for example, with some of the things that we've passed an ordinance for the roof repairs. Remember, that was $418,000. Right now, we're maybe about 2/3 of the way with that spending right now. So where I've added the money to the budget, so it's looking as a decrease in our net revenues on the budget side, I have not posted all of those expenses yet.
Okay. But we do have money to pay our vendors. We have cash in the bank, et cetera, like that. We're not having any trouble there. Okay. The reason I would go through this is it just, what we were getting up until today, it's not in this report, was the unrestricted and the restricted weren't showing the money that we actually have, and it made it appear bad,
Well, we've actually never showed the money that we have, the cash that we have available in the bank account. We've never, if that's what you're saying, we've never. And we shouldn't.
Yeah, no, we need to know if we need to know if we're going to vote on something, if we have the money to do it. Yeah, that's why we need to know that. So in closing, I guess, I just hope that being behind, like you said, that you need an assistant. I don't know if there was a lapse in us having a CFO for a while. That may be also why we're behind. I just hope that this doesn't trigger any flags for anyone.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Edwards.
Yeah, I just want to let you know that I don't share Mr. McCarthy's concern. I'm not alone by what's happening. Obviously, Ms. Glapion, you have responded to everything she said on target, so obviously you are on it. So I'm just speaking as one commissioner. I'm not alone by this, never have been. I really believe that your capability speaks for itself, and I'm not thinking that the Pope would really get vendors that can't pay for it. I just want to speak for me as commissioner. I want to commend you on your work, but I'm not alone by anything.
I appreciate your comments.
You done? Ms. McCarty.
I appreciate that some of us have blind trust. But it's our job to actually look at all of this information before we make decisions as the governing body. We are responsible. Thank you.
Next item, please.
5, introduction of ordinances and resolutions.
Oh, sorry. There you go. Should be on.
The following ordinance is under Councilmember Newsom's, Commissioner Newsom's name. Ordinance establishing the policy of the Plaquemines Port Harbor and Terminal District in regard to commissioner travel and otherwise to provide with respect thereto. And a resolution under Commissioner Schultz's name, a resolution adopting the procurement policy for Plaquemines Port Harbor and Terminal District to be added to the port's approved accounting and finance policies and procedures and otherwise to provide with respect thereto.
Thank you. All right, 6A1 will be deferred. 6B, as in Bravo, will be deferred. And we said C also, we're deferring?
Yes.
Okay, 6C will also be deferred. So the only thing we're voting on is 6A2. So, 6A2, please.
An ordinance authorizing Charles Tillotson, Executive Director of Plaquemines Port Harbor and Terminal District, to purchase land and property more fully described in Exhibit A owned by Point Celeste Farms and otherwise to provide with respect thereto. Commissioner Schultz.
And there is a change that did not get sent out. On lines 17 and 34, the amount is changing from $885,000 to $1,062,000. That's based on the appraised value plus 20%. So 1,062,000 on both lines. Other than that, I offer with the changes.
Second.
Second by Reverend Edwards. Any comments from the audience? Administration, table. Machines are open. Sorry, good point. Roll call, please.
District 1?
Yes.
District 2? District 3?
Yes.
District 4? District 5?
Yes.
District 6?
Yes.
District 7?
Yes.
District 8?
Yes.
Passes by 8-0, one member being absent.
8, approval of the minutes from September 11th, 2025, regular.
Offered by Commissioner Newsom. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Jurisic. Any comments from the audience? Administration, table. Roll call, please.
District 1?
Yes.
District 2? District 3?
Yes.
District 4? District 5? District 6?
Yes.
District 7?
Yes.
District 8?
Yes.
And the minutes pass 8-0 with one member absent.
Adjournment.
Yep. Yep.
Hold on, Mrs. LaFrance has asked
For the floor.
for the floor.
Yes. Mr. Tillotson. Did we start the, competition on naming the new ferry?
We have not started that yet. I've had extensive discussions with Ms. Bell. She is going to be running that project, so I'm going to let her talk about that briefly. But we want to partner with the Plaquemines Parish School District, to have a competition. And we've cleared it with DOTD. They think that it's a great idea, but let me let Ms. Bell speak to that.
Sure. So we're at the very early stages of developing a naming program for the new vessel. And I'll be meeting with the school district to determine parameters, age groups, categories for naming, so that we come up with something that is both reflective of the Plaquemines Parish community, reflective of the port, reflective of the new brand, and really shows the creativity of our young people in the parish. So more to come on that. We're in the very early stages, and I'm excited about it. I've had an opportunity to do similarly when I was at some other organizations where we were naming or rebranding transit assets. So I think it will be an opportunity to demonstrate our youth and their creativity, their artistic ability, and their creative writing skills. So looking forward, we will have a committee to select, so I'll be looking for some community volunteers. I'm sure someone's raising their hand over there to help me out on that. So but we're really looking at this being a project that we start in the second quarter of 2026 and go through the building of the program to give our young people ample time to think about this and do their research.
Great, thank you.
Ms. Bell, can you also talk a little bit about what we're thinking on the MV Louisiana?
Oh, wow. I'm just, you know what? My extemporaneous competition speaking is really coming in handy today. So, yes, I can. So I had an opportunity to visit the MV Louisiana, and even on the way here, I mentioned to my colleagues here on the dais with me that looking at it from the shore or as you're going on and off the ferry, you cannot see the beauty of that vessel. It is stunning. We had a meeting with some engineers. Our thought process is that to restore it to its original status as a steam ferry, not in its modified statuses throughout the year, to find funding that would allow us to eventually move it perhaps down farther into, down the road, down the river into the parish, and have it as basically a floating museum and event venue. It has features on it that are just remarkable. So it is going to be a very good asset, not only for the port, but for the parish of Plaquemines, because it will attract visitor groups, it will attract tourism, and it will give us an opportunity to compete with some of the assets in some of our neighboring parishes where they bring school groups to ride down the river. Now, this will not, as I understand, be on the river. It will be a stable asset, but actually have school groups from across the region to come in and do day trips to Plaquemines Parish, and even the opportunity for some tour boats, some river vessels to use it as a stop. So again, something that's in its early stages. We are working simultaneously to found the Port Foundation and get that started so that we can accept donations to restore this beautiful vessel.
And I'd just like to point out that DOTD, they fully support this initiative, and they think that it's a great idea for the state of Louisiana. So that concludes our report.
Thank you. Motion to adjourn.
Motion by Mr. Newsom, second by Mr. Jursich. Any wait, what? Any comments from the audience? Administration, roll call.
District 1? District 2? District 3?
Yes.
District 4? District 5? District 6?
Yes.
District 7?
You did. You left it on.
District 7.
Yes,
District 8?
Yes.
but I do have it.
And the adjournment passes 7-1.
We have adjournment at 4:58 PM.